My name is Alan.
My name is Evan. And
Welcome to all my friends.
Dude, that was so legit. We are back for another episode of All My Friends. I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I don't even know what episode we are anymore.
I don't either. I think we're 17.
I think so.
We missed our Sweet 16.
We celebrated it properly. If
Yep.
you didn't check out episode 16 with Evan Gia, go check that out now. Best in the biz.
Yeah.
But we are back for episode 17. We have taken a bit of a hiatus, not to point fingers, but I will point my fingers at Alan. Alan decided to leave the country.
I had to do a mental health trip to Tokyo, Japan for fun.
Yeah, for full week. He timed it perfectly. He timed it perfectly for when nothing at all happened in the music industry. Nothing happened. We've got nothing to report on. He timed it perfectly. So it's a good thing that we haven't put out an episode in about 2 weeks because, again,
no big news. Nothing that people would probably
be interested in hearing our comments on.
No, yeah.
I would like to say that we did do you all a favor. If you were behind on listening to episodes, you're welcome. We gave you plenty of time to get caught back up.
It's called summer break. Everyone, finishing school.
Exactly. Some of us, even us podcasters, we have to take breaks.
Yeah, it's a little vacation.
Exactly.
Heard of it?
Little sabbatical, some would say. So we did take some time off for Alan, I guess, and the entire music industry, it went insane. Everything happened that could have possibly happened. Before we get to that, our guest for today is a very, very interesting producer. We alluded to it last episode. Who do we have on, Al?
Ryan Hemsworth from Canada itself.
Not related to the other Hemsworth boys, right?
Not the long lost brother
Christian?
of Chris.
Yeah, Christian,
and
Chris is nice.
I don't know what the other ones are, but yeah.
I don't know either, but he's not related to them at all. However, probably more interesting than them.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll take this Hemsworth over the others. So before we get to our interview with Ryan, which was electric, so make sure to actually get to that point. Like we've been talking about, the music industry blew up.
Yeah, some things might have happened.
Yeah, and then it revived itself and then blew up again, and shit hit the fan, as they say. So we'll start it off with probably the biggest headline. We're going to start us off with the beef in music because we can't talk about anything else until we talk about Drake and Pusha T.
Yes, it was 3 times the news broke of this. First,
levels and levels of it.
Yeah, started off with a simple Pusha T released his new album, Daytona. On it, he has a few lines about Drake.
This is what I don't understand about rap beefs and beefs in general. I listened to the Daytona album, and again, I didn't pick up on it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it wasn't like an actual here's a song
Drake,
about
suck.
Drake. Yeah, no. And his
jabs
album,
were thrown.
Yeah, they were there, but somewhat mild. Some would say.
Right. Yes.
Some people noticed. Drake took notice.
Drake being one of them.
And then
it's good that he's not oblivious to a diss track.
That's true.
That'd be a bummer.
But
I would be.
Literally 24 hours later, came out with a song.
Not just a song.
Not just a song. Freestyle.
A very obvious a diss rebuttal. You could say Duppy. He came up. He put Duppy out within the first hour. It had over 1 million plays on SoundCloud.
It's amazing.
And it just again from these very subtle jabs that Pusha made on Daytona turned into a very full on diss track. Drake is saying that he basically made Pusha T's career and that he owes he's going to invoice him for what 20 grand, was that what 100 grand or something like that?
He put on Instagram an actual invoice.
Actually ended up sending an invoice, which is one of the most baller moves in the world. This is a bummer that we took our time off because this all happened a week ago, so we're a little behind on it. But if you're living under a rock, this will fill you in on the whole Drake and Pusha beef. But and you thought that it couldn't get escalated to the next level, and then Pusha.
Well, the best part was the reaction right after Drake released that. Everyone was like, wow. Pusha. 24 hours later, Drake came back.
With some heat. It's a good
song. Good diss song.
Yeah.
Some good lines. And everyone was like, wow, Drake won that one. Pusha just got destroyed. And a couple days went by, and it was kind of like, oh, well, Pusha didn't really put anything out to reply, so Drake's won this one.
Drake won this weird battle.
And little did we know, Pusha, he took those light jabs and was like, oh, so let me go back and bring what's like a good metaphor, like a bazooka to this like knife fight we started.
Right. People that Drake and Pusha had been like pushing each other gently, and Pusha came in with a sledgehammer and just cracked Drake in the head. It's like Pusha was sitting in this dark lair for 2 days and then slowly swiveled around on his swivel chair and was like, oh, Drake, you don't know what you just started, my friend. Took the Life of OJ beat from Jay-Z, which is a great classic beat, and just he really did work on Drake. We just listened to it again before this to prep ourselves. And Drake, that's the thing, is the song on Daytona and Drake's song Duppy are fairly playful. Like, it's some obvious like jabs and stuff. And I think all it took was Drake mentioning
Pusha's fiance.
Once he name dropped that, then I bet Pusha was like
that's where you don't. It's
about to go down.
That's where you don't go.
You touch family names, and now it's about to go down.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Pusha's been sitting on this knowledge or what it is, but apparently Drake has a kid. Allegedly. He's calling out Drake's best friend and producer 40 that he has MS. It gets pretty ruthless.
It starts off with him talking about his dad leaving his mom. Like, it gets personal really quick. Then he moves on to a photo where Drake is wearing blackface from his acting days. And then he goes, to the 40 stuff with him,
being sick. I mean,
it gets dark really quick.
Yeah, it's if this is what I've done in my free time is watch like actual rap battles, like King of the Dot, some stuff like that, and they're very, very, very vulgar and like aggressive from the beginning, so you can tell it's like reaching that level. Yeah, nothing's happened since.
No,
I think it potentially has died down. Pusha's talked on it publicly, a couple interviews. Drake has, as classic Drake, is hiding in an igloo in Canada. Like, he's about to put out an album too, so it's kind of like the best situation for Drake.
Well,
in a way.
that's one of those things that you always have to look at this and be like, this all came with 2 releases. One, Pusha put out his album Daytona, and then in a few weeks, Drake.
Yeah,
a week?
Very soon.
Yeah.
Very soon.
Drake is releasing his. So you also kind of go like, well, what's happening here? I feel like it probably originally was kind of like, if we put this beef out there, we're just going to get more streams. Our albums are going to get pushed.
Yeah.
And at first I was kind of like, this is probably a little manufactured, just let's do this. Right. And then I think it got a little personal and it went over the line.
They're like, they recognize that the best thing that you can do for your career is either die or get in a rap beef. Yeah. Maybe we need to get in a beef with another podcast.
Ooh.
Yeah. We're gonna next song exploder. You better watch out. Yeah. You don't even really talk with them on your interviews. Like, we at least talk to our people. That was pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. So if anyone knows the Sound Exploder guys, can you let them know we're beefing with them?
Met them years ago.
I know. Yeah. So just send them a text. Hey, we're beefing.
I'll send something. Yeah. So Song Exploder, we're coming for your throat. Meet us in the streets of Seattle. So we could do full hour-long episodes about the Drake Pusha thing.
Definitely go and listen to Duppy and the story Adidon. They're both really good. They're fun. They're great listens.
And then Drake, what's the word I'm looking for here? He meticulously put out a song, his next single off his album, and it's called "I'm Upset." So Drake just voicing his feelings. Yeah, he's upset. I'd be upset too.
It's just Drake. Let's also be clear. We're not picking sides.
Yeah, we are. We're Team Drake.
No. I don't care.
I don't
care.
They're
both artists.
This is what's a weird thing is why people are like, pick a side. You're just picking who you like more.
I guess. Which I like Drake more.
Or if you're comparing the songs head to head. I guess that's what you would be doing. But
it's just it's fun.
Weird.
It's fun news.
It's fun.
Some of the lines from Pusha went a little bit over the line. Then that's fucked up.
But that's what Push does.
Yeah. Overall, it's just fun beef.
Yeah.
Let's not get it too personal.
There you go. Wise words from Alan. Drake, if you're listening, Push, if you're listening, Alan says to keep it civil. So remember that. Speaking of keeping it civil, and another rapper, unfortunately not so civil, Mr. Chief Keef was shot at a W hotel in New York. Thankfully, he was not hit.
Yeah, no one was hit, apparently. I don't really know who or why they were targeting him.
Chief probably has a whole
I would say I'm sure there is reasons out there.
Yeah. Which is great because, Chief is like, that man is living on the edge at all times.
Yeah, absolutely.
All times. It must be a wild ride.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else we're going to say about this topic. Like,
it's just a fun fact for you.
Yeah, he's okay. That's why we're all right. Like, chatting about it.
On other, just the news kept coming.
Just kept coming.
Yeah. Spotify, as we talked about last week a little bit, they had put into place this hateful conduct policy where they removed some artists from their playlists. And then a few days ago this week, Spotify actually rescinded that and added those artists back into their playlists. So they restored like XXX Tentacion and other artists back into the playlist.
R. Kelly, right?
Yeah, I think so. And the big thing that was kind of reported was that TDE actually threatened Spotify.
Top dog entertainment, baby.
They said they were going to remove all their artists' music from Spotify if they didn't rescind it, because they felt that it was only the rap community that was targeted in that. It's not that they disagreed at all with the policy. I think everyone thought it was a good policy.
Great intention.
It was just so poorly done because...
And Spotify came out eventually saying... again, basically that. This was our intention. We rolled it out, and we executed it poorly.
Yeah. So,
I mean, kudos to them for, like,
acknowledging it
and trying and taking a step back and being flexible with it. But, yeah, like, if you're going to start taking people... I totally support not promoting and supporting, problematic artists. But, yes, when I heard about the TDE thing, it made sense.
Yeah.
They targeted... two of the biggest R&B rappers in the world.
And there's so many other, in punk rock and, other genres, pop, everything, that obviously have other artists that have, some hateful conduct that has occurred.
I also think that there's got to be like some like industry plant record label thing where it's like XXX is like, I don't know what his record deal is. I don't know what R. Kelly's are either, but XXX blew up on SoundCloud, a free platform that he used, and R. Kelly hasn't put out a song that's relevant in the last who knows when. I couldn't name the last R. Kelly song. The only song R. Kelly songs anyone knows came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
But like Chris Brown, like why was Chris Brown not like included in that group? And it's like, it's because Chris Brown still tours, he still puts out music, and like
still has, I'm sure, a big record deal and a record
kind of
label backing him.
Weird.
Yeah,
right. It seems weird.
Absolutely.
So, anyways, don't be a dick, folks. That's rule number one.
Exactly. And don't support artists that are hateful.
Yeah. Even though it's such a bummer because Remix to Ignition is like it's like a huge song. Still.
It is. It's a great song.
Again, the headlines just kept coming. Unfortunately, a lot of them, as most headlines in the world, they were not. It was not a lot of bad ones.
Yes,
one news. Of Alan and I's favorite rap group's legendary boy band, America's best boy band since One Direction, Brockhampton. They have kicked out one of the founding members, Amir. We covered this in a previous episode of these allegations that came out against Amir, and we're not going to necessarily speak on those exactly, but this is a big deal for them.
Yeah, for the band in general.
For fans of the group.
And fans. Whether it was the right decision for them or not, I think that's very much their decision as a band and how they wanted to address it.
Yeah.
They decided to kick out Amir, and, they have every right to do so. Obviously, as fans... he was a big part of the band.
Huge. He's my favorite.
Yeah, one of our favorite, members of it. Obviously a founding member, a big part of their live shows, of everything. So it's going to be interesting to see how they move forward.
Yeah. I've had this conversation with a few people, and in my opinion, they did the most... I'm going to use the word extreme. I don't mean it in a bad way, but they took the most aggressive approach to like to doing the right thing. Or the right thing in the sense that listen to survivors and don't tolerate anything like that. So they literally removed this person.
Yeah.
The album is apparently Puppy, which was supposed to come out in June, is going to be pushed back to remove his verses. Everything how it came out was that they played Boston Calling and Amir wasn't there, and they let his verses play, and they just stood there.
Yep.
And it was very awkward and uncomfortable, and that's how they addressed it.
And it's going to be interesting what happens. I mean, they canceled part of their tour.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting what they do as far as live performances. If they're going to do the same thing where they just let the verses go, someone else over them. it's going to be interesting to see how they approach it. And obviously, with the music moving forward, they're going to have to, adapt and change those songs or something.
It's crazy. Anyways, so best of luck to Brockhampton.
Yeah.
And everyone involved in that situation. It sounds very, very difficult and emotional. So still love you, Brockhampton.
Exactly.
And everything else. But Al, I got to let you read this next one because this is like your girl.
She's not my girl, but I support her. Camila Cabello, her song.
You're from Mexico. Let's hear a little bit.
Oh, we're good.
Oh.
Her song, Havana, is now Spotify's most streamed song ever by a solo female artist.
That's crazy.
It has, it's crazy because I don't know another song by her.
I don't know. I
Havana, obviously, if you just live under a rock, you haven't heard it. Otherwise, it's played. It's somewhere you've been.
Yeah.
It has over 888 million streams. It's almost at 1 billion.
How is Taylor Swift not higher than that?
Because Taylor Swift,
she held out and she wasn't on Spotify for pretty wild.
I mean, her latest album probably wasn't that big of a hit as far as singles. Is my guess. There wasn't the one song that popped off. I'm sure if
there's a few in the 100 millions, but
well, I mean, we're not saying she's doing poorly. She's fine.
She's doing quite fine.
But yeah, it's crazy. Just one song and 888 million streams. So congrats to her.
Congrats.
It's a fun song. It's so overplayed that it got to me. But it's still an enjoyable song.
I feel like if we worked at a Claire's in a mall where they do free ear piercings for like 12-year-old girls, we would hear that song way more.
Oh yeah.
So kudos to us for actually not even getting the full amount of times that song has been played in malls all over the world. We've got that's cool for you. Miss legendary singer Leanne Rimes says that she is down to collaborate with Bad Baby, aka the Catch Me Outside girl. If you're unfamiliar with her, Bad Baby, Catch Me Outside girl has turned that famous interview and meme into a rap career and is now a rapper and goes by Bad Baby.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like Bad Baby.
Good. Yeah.
I like Leanne Rimes. What that would turn into be, who knows?
Who knows?
Do we want to see it so we can talk about it?
Probably.
Yes, I'll take that. Probably. That's pretty good.
And last we have a good old Kanye sighting.
He's back in a big way.
He's back.
He was sighted.
Thankfully, not problematic.
Thankfully not problematic. The only way that you really could have, seen this Kanye sighting is if you were hiding in the mountains.
Yeah.
Hiding in the hills of Wyoming, baby.
You had to go. Going on a little hike, see a few people gathered together.
Yeah.
Oh, what's happening?
If you were walking through Wyoming last week sometime at night and you were stumbling through this random field and you saw a group of like 100 people circled around a
giant speaker,
a giant fire and like huge subwoofers surrounding them listening to Kanye West's new album, that's the ultimate Kanye sighting.
That would be the sighting.
If you didn't know, the great part about this story. So, anyways, Kanye put out his latest album, Yay, last Friday. He brought out a bunch of rappers, celebrities, people to friends. Wyoming, where he had recorded the album and did a listening party, literally in a field.
In a field, yeah.
In a field, surrounding a fire with the subwoofers. That was a real image that we just painted there.
Yeah.
It's hilarious to me for so many reasons. First off, why like Wyoming? I think he literally was like, what is the state that most people know nothing about? It was probably a toss up between Wyoming and Montana.
South Dakota, easy.
South Dakota.
That's my go-to always for the U.S. is like, I don't know anything about South Dakota.
I live in the neighboring state, and I still don't know which one, North Dakota or South Dakota, which one has Mount Rushmore.
I don't either.
Or the Black Hills. It's the same state, though. I think North Dakota is the one without it.
Okay, North Dakota then.
27-year-old guys just not being able to figure that out. Anyways, it's the most Kanye thing in the world.
Yeah, it is. It all felt just a little too like
felt like this was
Hollywood
cheesy.
And like cheesy and like fabricated and like.
The great part is
to me Kanye, like what he did for the last one where he was like, I'm gonna do it in New York City in a stadium. That felt very Kanye to me. This felt very like I am now one with nature and now I'm illuminated in my soul, and so this is where we will all listen to my music.
I'm gonna ride the wave with Kanye. A fun fact is if you've seen the album cover, it's like it's a pretty shot of the mountains of Wyoming. He apparently took the photo on the way to the listening party with his iPhone.
Yep.
Which is like, again,
and just added the text.
Yeah, he
with
added
like,
this text.
You know, whatever font.
Yeah, it's the whole situation is so Kanye because, you know, then after the fact, after this listening party, all of these rappers and celebrities, you know, they wanted to turn up and they're not going to fly out of Wyoming. They probably don't have flights out of Wyoming past 8 p.m. So they all apparently went to this one bar, this one like bluegrass bar, bluegrass bar, and like Lil Yachty and 2 Chainz are seen line dancing to this. Like,
oh my god,
it made for the best content.
Yeah,
I just wish that there were more
release parties like that.
Yeah, well,
in general,
I wish that there were more like legit press people, like in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Wyoming's obviously not the hot spot for like media. Great state, I'm sure, but
yeah, very true.
Yeah, the whole situation's great.
Yeah,
listen to Ye.
Listen to Ye. What are your feelings on the album itself?
It's getting better the more I listen to it. It's definitely, I'm not impressed by Kanye's rapping anymore. I'm impressed by his creative approach. So he produced the entire album. It sounds like he's had a whole different album and scrapped it and made this one from scratch like 2 months ago. Again, the most Kanye thing in the world. And I just kind of like to watch from a distance him go about this business.
Yeah.
Like there's people there's uncredited vocals on all these songs. Like, you know, apparently John Lennon has some uncredited vocals on one.
Oh wow!
And it's funny because like 2 weeks ago, or whenever Kanye shit hit the fan with him, like him and John Lennon, like Legend, were not, you know, seeing eye to eye. But it's just weird stuff like that where I'm like, that's interesting to me. And there's like 3 of the songs that I like. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was. The production, like you said, is really good. He has really original beats and production, I think, on most of his albums and tracks. Like you said, his vocals and his rap is kind of whatever for Kanye level expectations kind of thing. It's okay. It's 7 songs. It feels like a mixtape to me. It feels like 7. A project you put out in between full albums. Mm-hmm. So
and maybe he has another album coming this Friday,
but it's Kid Cudi's album,
Cudi, right?
So
with Cudi, so
we'll see.
We'll see what it's like. I totally get it. And the rapping, if you're any Kanye fan, you know that the rapping has gone downhill. I don't know how you go from the line couldn't afford a car, so I named my daughter Alexis, but that's where we're at now. So yeah, Kanye is just a different person.
Yeah, he is.
We're riding with him though.
We'll ride with him. Yeah. It's again. Great beats. Yeah. Something really quick it reminded me of that he scrapped the album. Did you know that The Weeknd apparently had a whole like upbeat album that he scrapped after he broke up with Selena Gomez?
That's why?
Yeah.
After?
They broke up and he scrapped it, and that's when he made whatever the last one was called.
Weeknd, I don't even listen to your music, but you got to put that out. You got to do that because you got to have your turning point. Like Taylor Swift, 1989, baby. You got to move to New York, and you need to sing it from the rooftops.
Yeah,
you need to have I don't want you to be crooning like over some sleepy beat again. I don't care about that. The best song that you ever put out was the one with Daft Punk, where you sound like Michael Jackson.
Not the best song ever, but
best song he ever put out.
No, his original stuff is better. I like that song a lot, but his original stuff is way better.
I don't really like Weeknd anyway.
I know. You don't like R&B.
That's fine. Anyways, let's move into our fantastic interview that we had.
Yeah.
We previewed this a bit on the last episode, talking about Ryan Hemsworth's many stories of Lil B, E40. He's produced for some huge names.
Yes.
And is just a very connected dude.
Very connected. Also just very unique in his approach as far as he definitely, like, he could have gone in the, like, just generic, like, I'm going to be a producer for big name rappers and artists or pop and, like, just do kind of what everyone else is doing. And he's very much just always been in his own lane of, like, this is what his creative idea is. Right. This is where he's going. He's lately been working a lot with Asian artists, Korean, Japanese. So just very interesting dude. Great stories.
Yeah, it's funny when we met him. I was like, he's more of an soft spoken, a little bit more of an introverted guy. And I was like, all right, cool. Like anytime we meet artists, I'm like, I'm going to approach this from with a blank page because I don't know anything about these people. But initially I was like, uh-oh, like this guy's going to hear some of our questions and be like, what the fuck is happening? And by the end of it, he's like cutting us off before we can get to questions, like in a respectful way, and like
stories.
adding on. We're talking about the greatest Hillary Duff song that he ever heard that's like unreleased. It was wild. So you're in for a treat. Without further ado, here's Ryan Hemsworth. Let's try that again.
No.
That's great.
Every single time that I close my eyes, that I say your name. When the time flies by, goes 1 minute, 2 minutes, then it's 3 weeks later and I'm still not home. Back at the club, trying to call your phone. It's middle of the night before I get back home. To a hotel room where you're a million miles away. You're a million miles away. And I don't wanna leave you here. I just wanna be your shadow. And you can find me in the sun so bright, and tie me to your wrist each night. And I'll follow you, I'll follow you home.
All right, we are in an undisclosed location in Seattle, Washington, with a very special guest, our Canadian brother. Can we call you that already?
Yeah, why not?
We have Ryan Hemsworth on the podcast. How's it going, man?
Hey, good.
Welcome to Seattle.
Thank you.
First question, the most important question. Have you ever been refunded by Pier 1 Imports for $1?
Where did you?
Did that?
Is this?
Is it
this
true?
is on some Nardwuar shit already.
No. Trust me, we get more in depth than Nardwuar.
Yeah. Okay.
Did that happen once?
Yeah, I've got I think a check still like on my wall at my parents' house. Yeah, it was like a payment, like my first job. It was like not even $1. I think.
But you worked at Pier 1 Imports
for like 2 days. Yeah.
$1 for 2 days? You got ripped off.
Yeah, I think maybe it was 1 day, but yeah, a friend like had a job there and they needed someone, and then I just like moved some boxes and then like took off.
I'm assuming.
And they gave you less than
I'm assuming you got more money than that though, and it was like a weird was it a refund?
I think so. Yeah, I think it was like some like income tax thing, but it's just like, why did you even waste the paper to print this? Like,
did they mail it to you?
Yeah,
it costs more.
You got like a W-2. Everything's like file your taxes at the end of the year.
Yeah, when you get
like,
a check in the mail, and you're like,
day?
hell yeah, I came up 67 cents.
God damn it. You seem like a guy that would fight for that, though. Like, if you knew that it was owed you, you'd be like,
"Oh yeah,
I'm fucking going for it."
I had to push for that, but
yeah,
it's worth
it. So a little bit more serious. Have you ever done an REM cover?
Have I? The fact that I have to think about that is like questionable.
Like one of your first, probably like musical projects might have been
when you're in a band.
Yeah. or I don't. You're like telling me shit about me that I forget. I mean, I started like on guitar, playing covers. Like I would like go to school, come home, like play Foo Fighters songs on guitar all night, and like, so I was definitely into like ultra normie rock bands, if you want to put it that way.
It's a good way to put it. That's like a fairly respectable way to call it. To lump a bunch of bands in there.
Pearl Jam, Tragically Hip, Our Lady Peace, like, very middle of the road,
safe,
junior
safe
high
rock.
Yeah. And then I got into I guess in like grade 8 or something, got into like emo music and Elliott Smith and Bright Eyes and stuff like that, and
natural progression.
Yeah, so I was like recording a lot of covers of these songs, and I hope they don't exist anymore because like that's
I will tell you, I clicked the link and it was down.
What song?
REM cover. I can't remember what. I didn't say.
Because I literally
was
have.
very
I think I like
disappointed.
erased this from my memory.
And the internet. Which
Yeah, the internet. There you go. You did it. Wait, speaking of old memories, what can you tell us about this photo? What's this
God, dude!
Okay, can you describe it? Because this is bad radio. Showing Ryan a photo.
For those that cannot
see, come on,
it's
Ryan,
a very
this.
excellently photoshopped band photo with the word Hemsworth over top of 4 silhouettes, and that's
Sunset.
Yeah, that's my. I was in a band in like grade 10 and 11 with my friends from high school.
Yeah.
I was the drummer.
That's that?
Yeah.
Wow, we dug really deep. That's pretty
Yeah. I'm impressed and depressed as
The
well.
internet, man. The internet. It's a crazy place.
Yeah.
It's very pixelated.
Yeah, I think maybe I photoshopped that one or one of us did, but
Who knows what quality the photo was taken with originally? Probably.
yeah.
We'll post the photo eventually
definitely,
later. The
yeah.
photo, the font does look a little airbrushy. It looks like an airbrush thing that you'd get. Like
I mean it's
fair.
it's very early artistic.
High
This
quality.
was before Ryan Hemsworth like producing electronic music though.
I was just starting to at that time, so I was like doing my own thing, but also my friends like wanted to make a band, and I actually was like playing guitar, but needed like a drummer, so I was like, I'll just play drums, I guess, and kind of figured it out along the way. Yeah. But I mean, along the way, as in we played like 3 shows, and that was it. But
You did it.
yeah, I mean that was so fun. I kind of actually have been thinking more and more about that feeling lately of just like having a band dynamic and kind of missing that.
Yeah.
At least like I'm sure you probably hear this from every producer, but just like traveling alone and like going on stage by yourself, it's like you just
It's not
lonely?
that fun actually traveling by yourself all the time.
I can entertain myself, but at the end of the day,
We all can.
it would be in whatever way that
Come on, man. Come on. I wasn't gonna do that.
set myself up.
Yeah, right. I feel like we actually haven't heard a lot of producers explain like the loneliness of touring. We hear a lot of producers be like, it's work. Like it's not partying all the time.
And also, they talk a lot about like what they do to spend that downtime, which is typically like some weird reality TV, like food related like show
that they watch like
Definitely.
They watch
Definitely.
on tour,
They're all
because they're like
alone.
on a bus for 8 hours. And like, I'm gonna watch 10 episodes of
Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives.
Yeah.
It's the go-to one apparently.
Yeah, really.
It's brought up all the time.
Yeah. So actually, kind of talking a little bit about how you started. You started making music, I guess, more seriously right in college, university.
University, as they say up north. Yeah.
What did you? Was there ever a moment that you thought about, quitting university and actually going full time into music, or did you like in your mind have like, I want to finish this?
Yeah, I mean, actually, technically, I did basically quit. I was in my last year. I took a bachelor's in journalism in Halifax, and I was like starting to get offers outside my city just for like Pop Montreal and stuff like that. And I was like finishing 4th year, and then there was a show in Toronto with Shlomo and Deebs and a couple other guys, and I was just like, I'm gonna probably go to that and like just keep that going, because I think it was like the same week as like my grad or whatever.
Okay.
So I was just like, this is definitely more of my priority right now. I made it this far, but like, so basically, I have like a half credit.
I was gonna
left
say, are
at
you a college
university.
dropout then?
Yeah, technically, yes.
Wow.
I mean, my mom still like every week is like, you gotta finish that course.
She sends you like a new email, like, I found this online course that would finish that credit you're missing.
Yeah.
You just gotta remind her. You know who else was a college dropout? Michael Jordan. So
and Kanye
and Kanye. Oh my,
I don't know if I want to make
down
that. I don't want to make that
huge
comparison
Kanye
now,
fan,
but
right? You are.
Up until
2 weeks ago, I tell you.
No, I mean that's a sore subject for sure.
Yeah.
Like he definitely. Yeah, I mean when I got 808s and Heartbreak, like brought that home and put it on. Like I still remember like in my kitchen listening to that. Like holy shit! Like I've never seen like an artist make a shift like that.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is definitely like what inspires me more than anything with musicians. Like when I can see they do one thing and they're known for one thing, and then they're like, fuck it, I'm going to do this complete unexpected thing. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's tough with him. He's a tough one. We haven't had anyone on since he's gone down the fucking whatever he's going down
Can't
now.
invite him back.
Wait, do you feel like it's important to be able to differentiate the art and the artist?
Oh man,
I
this
know.
question is
I'm sure that was a big one to throw out.
Well, I think you can say that, but can you really feel that way? Like, can you put on an R. Kelly song and not think about him pissing on young girls? Like,
you can't even really on Spotify anymore. Well, you
no.
can.
Well, yeah, they're taking them off playlists and stuff. Which is that's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah, we were just talking about that before. It's like
once you start,
you open a can and there's a lot.
They
more
definitely
in there
didn't
than
think that whole thing through.
No, it's like a part of an initiative too. Of like, I don't know what it is, but it's like I get it, and like the intention is good, but holy hell, you're gonna have hundreds, thousands of people that you're taking off stuff.
It's like the type of action that needs to be taken, but where do you start? Where do you stop? Where do you draw the line? Of like
what's the line?
And like
Who did?
A lot of stuff is still, like I feel like it's really there's so much to that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't mean to spring that. 5 minutes ago, we're talking about your 11th grade band with your Photoshop cover, and now we're talking about the bigger issues in music, right?
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, switching a little bit, I guess. You've produced music for a lot of hip hop artists, Tinashe, Tory Lanez, E40.
Odie.
I mean, you have a song with E40.
Yeah.
Why do you think you focused or you're connected so much to hip hop and R&B and that kind of side of music and less with pop artists? Not that your music doesn't also have a pop side, but I just think of your the artists you've produced with tend to be more in that area.
Maybe, I mean, I guess there's a lot of different reasons, but maybe it just comes down to like the quickness and how easy it is to collaborate with like a rapper or
because they're just ready to go.
Yeah, I can make a beat in like 15 minutes and they can record their part in 15 minutes and you can have a song.
How long did the song with Tinashe take?
That one was like over email. Right. But that was super quick too. Like I sent her that track and I think, they recorded it, sent it back like fully mixed within the week or whatever.
Wow.
And that was like, she was starting to get a lot of attention then. Yeah. So I didn't even expect, honestly, them to do that. But yeah, I'm a big Tinashe supporter. Like, I think it's been like definitely a tough past couple of years for her. Cause like, I think there's been a lot of label troubles and stuff, like just getting her albums out and whatever. But she's like crazy talented and like not given the respect she deserves, I think.
Yeah. Wait, what about the song with E40?
That was, that's a process because I had the song with Yaki recorded in Atlanta, had it basically all done. And my next project's going to be on E1 and there's a E1 office in New York. And the head of that one, Alan Grunblatt, who signed like Jim Jones, all the Dipset guys in the 90s. Like he's like a rap OG, old Jewish guy, the coolest dude ever. And so I had a meeting with them after I had the song and I was like, it'd be amazing to have like E40 or someone from like that era on this track to like kind of connect the dots. And he was like, all right, I'll call him and see if he's down. I'm like, okay, fair enough.
and it happened.
And he was like, yeah, he's down. And then there was kind of like nothing for like 2 months. And I was like, do you think this is still going to happen? And then out of nowhere, my manager was like, stay by your phone. E40 is going to call you in like 10 minutes just to like, talk. Yeah. I'm like, okay.
Wait, so come on. Can you please run us through this conversation?
Yeah. It was.
Did he answer like, ooh? Did he do something cool like that?
He was like, hey, what's poppin', man?
I'm like, 40?
Yes. I'm like, this is already the best conversation I've ever had. And he was just such a easy guy to talk to. He just really wanted, I think he's like super respectful. He wanted to know where I was coming from. Like, obviously, I just don't think he knew who I was. He just like kind of heard this guy has this track, and he said he listened to it and he already liked it. He just wanted to know like what my deal was and where I was coming from with stuff. So I kind of explained it, and he was definitely like looking at my Instagram while we were talking. So he was like, oh, you just played in Chicago. Nice. Oh, you were just in Dubai. My boy Salt Bay's out there. I'm just like, saying all these things. I'm just like, I can't process everything that's happening right now.
Wait, have you never met 40?
We met. So he after that phone call, he recorded his part and mixed it, sent it the next morning. So I had the track done, and then we were like, okay, we need to shoot a video for this obviously now, because it's like me, weird white guy from Canada, Yaki from Atlanta, and T40 from the Bay. So we're like, we need to connect these dots. And so we went out to the Bay, set that all up.
It makes sense that you all went out to 40.
Of course, you know, I wanted to make it make it easy on the counselor, you know, just we came through. He showed up with multiple bodyguards, and I was like, I didn't know what to expect, because like I've been a fan since like, you know, junior high, and I figured at his level he could be an asshole if he wanted to, and that's very
absolutely
legitimate.
You never know.
Yeah. And he came through, and he has like a whole line of alcohol, like wine.
That was gonna be my next question. Damn it.
Yeah,
we were gonna ask, have you tried his wine?
I bought a bunch of it to bring to the set. Yeah,
You bought his own wine to bring to
I
him.
did, yeah.
Like
and then I showed him, and I was like, yo, if you want anything. He's like, why didn't you tell me? I got boxes of this stuff in my garage. So I think he appreciated that. I don't know. I just wanted to show it. Like, also, I wanted to try it. Like, it was actually
Was it good?
It was pretty good. Yeah, the slurricane is
Slurricane,
it's a very
dude.
it's a sweet treat. But,
Ooh,
yeah.
We have a segment idea that we're just gonna get a bunch of rappers' alcohols and wines and get super drunk and record.
Oh man, yeah, that's a great idea.
Jeezy's got a whiskey.
Yeah.
That comes in a paint can.
Yeah.
I mean, we could always
Ciroc, like you could do some other ones. Anyways,
Yeah, I think
Sorry.
a lot of that would not be good. But
Jeezy's not good. I've had it a couple times already. It's not great, but
So he came, shot his part, super cool, talking to everybody. He showed up, and then like SOB, RBE, and all these guys just appeared.
wow.
I feel like he just goes places, and actually his brother, E40's brother, Be Legit. They're like, I think pretty much same age, and his brother was like at the set before I arrived.
What?
He was just like chilling there in like an Escalade. I was just like, who's this dude that like kind of looks like E40? Like, oh shit, it's like Be Legit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they were, I mean, that's just like the Bay. That's why I fucking love it out there.
Yeah.
Like people, if they like you, you're in.
You're
like,
just
you
part of
know,
the crew.
yeah. And like
Everyone.
everybody just shows respect. If you show respect, it's, you know, mutual. So he hung around, and then I thought he was going to split, but he like stayed and got drunk with us. And
What?
like, he just chilled all night. Yeah.
On his own wine?
Yes. Yeah.
Dude, that would be the coolest.
Yeah, can
Get
you imagine
drunk on
like
your own
making your
wine.
own alcohol that you can get drunk off of?
Someone bought you your own wine, so he gave you money, and then you got drunk
Yeah.
off of your own money.
Yeah.
There's that Aziz Ansari skit where he talks about drinking with Jay-Z or whatever. He's like, Jay-Z literally signed a check for his own wine, and the money went back in his pocket. Or
Yeah, that's the goal, and that's what I'm
Right?
realizing. Like,
Is that what you're moving into?
You need your own
this is
alcohol.
what- yeah. But I
you
think
had to
my thing would be like tummy tea or something
I
like.
was gonna say, what would
Nighttime.
what would be your-
Sleepy time.
We'd have,
There you
Alan
go.
would have his own La Croix. La Croix? Is that what I always say? Canadian. Canada is basically France, right?
Yeah,
La Croix? Am I saying-
Part of it.
I try not to say it out loud just because I don't know.
you don't want people to know. Yeah, that makes sense.
Wait, you also, I know you were in a studio with Lil B.
Yeah.
Did that
have-
song? Did you actually make a song? Was that song like come out?
Ryan, you seem like you have some incredible stories that we could be.
Yeah. I've hung out with the bass god. I've been blessed to have his presence a lot, actually. I haven't talked to him in a while, but that day was crazy because, like, I don't know how it got set up exactly, but I was going to be, I think I was in Oakland already, and I had a couple days off, and he was around, and you like kind of a lot of people have his number, and you can just like hit him.
He seems
up.
like a guy that willy-nilly
Yeah.
throws it out and then won't change his number.
And he'll respond like 1 in 10 times
Okay.
or whatever, which is like
Yeah.
a good ratio
Good-
for
yeah,
someone
for a
that
famous rapper.
probably everyone has his number.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, I'm around if you want to like actually just work together on something. And he's like, yeah, let's like go to the studio in Sacramento. And I was like, okay. It's like a little far, but I'll go to fucking like Phoenix to have a session with you. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, that's a little far, but I can definitely figure it out. And he's like, you want me to pick you up? And I'm like, sure. If you're going that way.
Yep.
So he pulled up. He was in the back seat, and in the front seat is this big white dude, like in his 50s. And I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
So that guy's name is Big White Gucci. And
Big White Gucci?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And he was kind of like Lil B's apprentice friend just like followed him around.
He wasn't a security guard?
No, he was just, he lived in the same building as him. So they became friends.
Why do you talk like it's like an apartment complex? It's like, that's like what the line I say. Like, we live in the same building as that guy.
I think literally that's what it was.
I saw him at the grocery store.
Yeah, he's like, room 302 and Big White Gucci's 301. So I think they just like
mixed up
met in the hallway and then they became friends.
Oh,
Big White Gucci drove us the whole way, which was like a 2-hour drive from where we were. Me and Bass God were sitting in the back seat, and Big White Gucci is just like, he's just a crazy 55-year-old dude that probably like was like fought in a war or something. Like he walks with a limp and has a cane, and like
he actually has a cane.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's just, but he's like kind of one of those uncles that like says some crazy shit at like a family get together, and you're like, ooh, maybe, yeah.
That one crossed the line.
Yeah. You just laugh. You don't say.
No, the whole time me and Bass God were just sitting in the backseat giggling at everything that.
I was gonna say, were you not talking? Were you guys like going back and
forth? We would
awkward?
like exchange like looks at each other, like this is this fucking guy. So that was the whole drive out there. We got to the studio. I obviously like was stoked, so I prepared like tons of beats and stuff, and like what I thought he would be super down with. Played him a bunch, and he was like definitely like vibing with it, whatever. Yeah. I was like, okay, cool, we're definitely gonna make some cool shit. And there was like synths set up in the room, and he kind of walked up and he started playing like this like key that sounded like an acid song, like a note, and I was like, what's he doing? And he like started like playing this like super basic melody, and he's like, record this. And then he started doing like a kick drum, like a super like house track, and I was like, wow, what's going on right now? And he was like, we should do this. We should make it like a dance like a techno song. I was like, okay,
oh my God, whatever you want.
This is not part of the plan, but this is so much better than.
Come on, did you think you were gonna go in there and he was gonna be like, that one is nice. Let's go with that.
Yeah,
one. I mean, maybe.
I was very naive in thinking that. Yeah, I don't know what.
So that track exists somewhere.
I have the project file. It's I was thinking recently, maybe I should like fix that up, and it's definitely.
If you want to premiere it on our podcast,
dude, we'll drop it. Play it right now. You got your laptop. We'll put a microphone up to the speaker of your computer, high quality.
Oh my God, yeah. Someday maybe that'll yes. We'll let that one fly.
Dude, that might be the best. We've had a lot of good stories on here.
Yeah,
but that might be that might be one of the best ones.
Yeah, that was a nice night.
He's a nice guy.
He was very. I mean, he was
eccentric as hell.
Honestly, not
as much as you'd think.
No, he was just like hanging out with a good friend, like someone you knew from high school. He was just like super chill, and we talked about like video games and stuff. Like he's just like a nice nerdy dude.
That's awesome. Yeah. Actually, that makes me really
and that makes me. I assumed that he would only go places with like 4 women like carrying him in a chair.
I'm sure
and, like,
that's
only refer to himself as third person.
Mondays and Fridays. He does that. And then like
Tuesday, Thursday, he's just like
and also out. Like going anywhere in the city with Bass God is like he steps out of the car and obviously someone's like, Bass God, just like you can't go anywhere, and he'll walk up to anyone and be like, oh yo, love, like
really
so much. Like yeah.
Dude,
he shows
the Bay is the best.
He shows 110 respect. Like
really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
man, what do you I have so many questions about Bass God. That's like a whole other story. Gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know if we would be able to interview him.
So another Bass God story. I just want to make this all about him. I played Buku Fest in New Orleans. And I said that super Canadian. New Orleans. And
as my old roommate would hate me saying, Nolans.
Yeah, exactly.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
So that was the year. It was a super good year, but like Porter Robinson played, Lil B played. I think Lil Boosie was that year as well.
Okay.
So I went and saw Bass God, killed it. He was just hanging around backstage. I was like, yo, what's going on?
You remember you?
This was before the big techno
sesh. You met him?
Yeah, I think it was the first, yeah.
Okay.
Because he was still like rocking his like swag, like old swag, like old Vans and that era of Bass God. So I was talking to him, and then I talked to like Porter separately, and he was like, holy fuck, that's the Bass God. I'm the biggest fan of Lil B ever. And I was like, I did not.
That's not real.
He was like, yeah, I have every Lil B mixtape. I know the words to every song. I was like, so you guys need to meet then.
Yeah.
And like he was like, I'm like kind of
He's
scared.
nervous.
Yeah. So I was like walked over, was like, yo, B, this is Porter. Yo, B.
Yeah, is that what you call it? Yeah. What is he in your phone? Just B. Bass God.
I think it's Lil B, the bass god.
Okay.
Yeah.
It should be full name.
Yeah.
And did they just chop it up then?
They talked for a while, and bass god was like, so me, you, Diplo, and Dylan Francis need to make a song.
I wish that existed.
That would be the only song that I'd be like, there's not too many cooks in the kitchen. In fact, let's bring in DJ Snake. Let's bring in Swedish House Mafia. Let's blow this thing up.
He was like so, and like, I think Lil B really wants to like be a DJ.
DJ.
Like, he wants to be in like EM, I think.
I can see that.
Wow.
Yeah, like he was super serious about that. And I think that would be so tight.
That would be so cool.
But he could do anything and it would be cool.
Of course.
He seems like somebody who would.
Well, yeah, he just had like a photo exhibit. He just did like an art show.
He's doing his own now?
Yeah, Lil B is like, he's doing everything.
He's a creative.
I love
creative
sports Lil B. I love when Lil B's cursing athletes and going on sports talk shows.
For sure.
And like,
dude, he's been on like CNN and like Sports Center. Like,
dude's amazing.
Yeah.
There was one, now that I remember, there is a sports show that he went on with Michelle Beadle that they carry him in on a, because it was the James Harden curse. He's been cursing James Harden since he was born. So, that's a thing. Wow, this interview went exactly the way. We have about 15 questions written here, and I'm like, we've asked 2 of them.
Yes.
Wait, do you have one? Go.
I was just gonna go with very different direction. You started your own label.
Yeah.
Secret Songs.
Yeah.
What made you decide to do that? Like,
what a transition from Lil B to this. What a transition.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's okay. There's no way to transition from that.
No. There was.
I was like, I guess mainly from making mixes and stuff, and like I was already hitting up all these producers to send me unreleased songs to put in my mixes, and it kind of reached a point where a lot of the comments on all those were like, who is this? What is this track?
Yeah.
And those friends not really having like an outlet to put them out on. So I was like, I'm just like sitting on all this unreleased shit from dope producers and singers and stuff. And so, I mean, when I was just thinking about it, I was talking with like Nina Las Vegas and like a few other friends at the time. And like, she was starting like her thing, the NLV Records. And she was like, why don't you just like do it? Like, I'm going to do this. Like, there's no fear like making a SoundCloud label or whatever. So I just started it and just wanted to basically just share like all the cool shit I was finding at the time in like a free, easy way. Every 2 weeks, new song. Yeah.
Why do you think that doesn't exist in like other genres, other than the fact that I guess producing is like more like collaborative in a way? But I just feel like it's easier to share. Yeah, but I just feel like hip hop, especially, like just rap, R&B, that would exist more. Like, why doesn't
I guess in different ways?
Why doesn't like all the big producers, like there's like TDE, but they only like taken like 6 artists. You know what I mean? They're not just like, we're gonna put out a new mixtape of TDE with 10 rappers we found.
No, I mean, I think, honestly, in a certain way, I definitely love that like Gucci Mane. That's how he came up. Like he put on everyone from Waka, Future, like any rapper you name, Migos, like they came through him. And so like I definitely look at people like that. I'm just like, there's so much importance in like using your platform to like help like bring someone else up to that. So, and I think that people are doing that more and more. There's a lot of artists starting labels and stuff like in super, simple ways, but it still could be more. Like, honestly, like, sometimes like people will. I actually like last night, like a girl like that came to the show. She was like, "Why are you like promoting so much like other people's stuff and not your own?" Which is like,
how dare you?
I know. I was like, man, honestly, like, because maybe I'm a bit like tired of myself sometimes, and I just want to like put on this awesome shit that is like right in front of me, and no one else is like paying attention to. So, I think that's definitely a part of it. A lot of like music to me is like there's so much. It's so self-centered, and like you have to think about yourself like every day, all day, and like, what am I going to do to put this out? How are people going to perceive my new look or my sound or whatever? And it's just like, I find the secret song stuff is like a good way to like stop thinking about my shit for a minute and just like focus on taking what I know and then applying that to someone else.
Huh.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're at like a crossroads of the Ryan Hemsworth project? I feel like just talking with you now and the stuff that I've seen, obviously you've taken some time off from touring actively, and I'm sure you're still making music, but you mentioned, I mean, even the fact that you had like talked about aspirations of a live band again or something like that, it feels like you're kind of a fucking cop car behind us right there, of course.
You're coming for me.
No one can probably hear that in these microphones, but whatever. It just feels like you're in a different, I mean, you've been doing this for a while too. We've already talked about 6 Seattle shows that you've played, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think that definitely this year I've just like been in Asia a bunch, like in the past year, and working with like, I just want to work with a bunch of random unexpected people and do something different. Like, I think it's so, I don't know, especially like producers from my generation or whatever, there's so much expectation now. Like, oh, I've heard this person, I know what they're going to do next. And like, I just want to keep that changing at any point. So this year I've been like kind of low key because I've been, when I travel, like I try to work with someone local wherever. So when I was in Japan, I've been like working with some rappers out there and like a J-pop singer. And I found this like 16-year-old girl that is like making like super cute, like kind of like Caro Bonito stuff, but like trying to make like some like rap leaning production for her and like just like connect those dots, which I think is about to happen anyway, which is everyone listens to everything from everywhere now. So even working with like singers in Korea, like there's a lot of Korean R&B that I'm like obsessed with right now. I think that's cool. That's long overdue. Instead of just focusing on America or Canada, it's like there's just so much
more.
Yeah, there's so much to offer now. Like,
I mean, obviously Porter's done that on like a different way.
Yeah,
and it's interesting to talk to producers about that. But like, I think it's a genuine passion for him. I don't think that he's like doing it as a facade or to like capitalize on whatever.
I think he's one of the few that's done it with full respect.
Yes.
I think it's super easy to like change your photo to an anime character and make some like Japanese sounding stuff.
Take some samples out of there.
And but to really,
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
Right. So it's cool that you're like traveling and doing all that.
Yeah, I just want to do it come from a genuine place, whether it's cool. Like Japan or making rap in Atlanta or working with R&B singers in Toronto. Like I want to know
Drake.
No, not yet. Yeah.
Say R&B singer in Toronto.
Yeah. He means the weekend.
Yes. A lot of people. So I think it's just important to do your homework, respect.
That's cool.
Shit before you go into it, just because it's like the cool thing at the
cool
moment.
Thing.
Yeah.
Right. Wait, so we have a bunch of questions. Yeah. We have a few essential questions we need to ask you. Some of these are questions we ask to all our guests. We'll start off with a segment that we do with all our guests. Canadian producers that you could beat up. So I'm going to list a Canadian producer, and you have to tell me if you could beat them up or not. Okay? Deadmau5.
Ooh, I feel like it's just fist fight, but I think he would like pull out like a shank like from his back pocket.
He would still find a way.
He for sure would have something like in his pants that he would pull out and like and like stab me in the throat.
Got a tattoo of a knife and it looks like a tattoo and then he rips it.
So I don't know if I could beat him. Okay. I feel he's too wiry. He's too unexpected.
Wiry.
What about Chet Porter?
Oh yeah, I could kick his ass. But I feel like we would probably we would like go to swing each other and just like, oh, I don't want to do this, dude, and just like hug or something.
I feel like that's true for every Canadian.
It's true.
It's probably accurate.
What about A-Track? He's from Canada, right?
Yeah, he is.
It's all from Wikipedia.
Yeah, he's Montreal. Damn, man, I hate thinking about fighting people. I've like never been in a fight. I feel like he can probably hold his own though.
I bet he could.
Yeah.
He's got a brother. Like I'm sure they fought.
Yeah,
all the time.
I try and like put him in a headlock and just put him to sleep.
But he's a little bit shorter than you two.
Yeah, so I can probably like
that's good.
Swing around him and put him in a headlock.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, we don't need to go through that segment anymore.
Who's the most famous person in your phone?
In my phone. Joel Madden.
What? Really?
Yeah, maybe.
Why do you have Joel Madden's number?
We're like friends.
No, you're not.
Okay.
Did you call him?
Oh, that's him right now.
No, it's not.
No.
Oh my God. For everyone listening, Ryan's phone did just light up, and I nervous.
No, I was telling someone that today. They were like, "What's the
Wait,
craziest?"
is he really your friend?
Yeah, he came. So I don't know exactly. So there's like Joel Madden, Benji Madden from Good Charlotte, and they have another brother, Josh Madden, who's like just a homie, and he was a big fan of my stuff. First, he was writing for a lot of sites, and he must have shown Joel my music, and then like he started following me, and I DM'd him like, "Yo, what the fuck? Good Charlotte is like." Was so important to me. And he was like, means a lot coming from you. I'm like, what?
What is happening right now?
Yeah. And
is he Canadian?
No, he's
No,
where are they from?
New Jersey.
Yeah, somewhere random like that.
I feel like it actually is over there.
So I was like, that's crazy. And I was gonna play in LA like a month later. I was like, if you want to come through. And he came to the show by himself, just hung out. Yeah, he was just like
Joel, we're
fanning out. Yeah.
We're talking about
Yeah, I didn't. That made me like, I was like comfortable for the night, and then he showed up, and I was like so nervous. I was just like, he's gonna judge me.
Oh my God!
He's gonna tell Benji that I suck.
Wait, okay. So I have a hatred for Joel Madden because Hillary Duff was my childhood crush.
Yeah.
I still vividly remember going to the grocery store one day and seeing the whatever tabloid article of Joel Madden and Hillary Duff are dating. So you can send him a text, a big fuck you from Evan.
Okay. I can pass that along.
I mean, they're not together now, so it's fine.
They wrote some of her best music, actually.
They did?
Yeah, they had the two of them had like a production team under a different name, and they wrote like a bunch of like early.
He's a big fan of the music.
I love it.
They're good.
Yeah, early 2000s, like There was one Hillary Duff song that's like not on Spotify, and it makes me so sad. But it's like
not on Spotify.
Yeah, it's like her best song.
Do you have it?
And I'm like blanking right now, but let's keep talking and I'll find it.
Keep doing it.
Yeah.
And then call Joel. Joel Madden, that's a really good one. I'm surprised you didn't say Lil B.
Joel. I mean, I'm trying to think if there's anything crazier, but that's what comes
Sonny?
to mind. Yeah.
What do you mean? It's like actually.
I guess I don't because with Skrillex is like Skrillex is everyone's friend, so I feel like you can't really.
We saw him at an In-N-Out 2 weeks ago.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I was just in LA. We went to some club. We were just like gonna go hang out at this club, and he was like out front, and like no one could get in. And I was like, hey, and he's like, oh hey, come in the back with me. It's Ryan Hemsworth. How's it going, dude? I was like,
nice guy,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, dude, like the
seems
night.
like you know way more like famous people than we ever
that have had on.
Yeah.
You might take the cake.
So
if Skrillex was an afterthought.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, that kid.
At this club, like Skrillex walked us in basically, and then I walked out, and Future was walking in.
What?
And so like, I mean, that's my story, but
still pretty tight story.
It was just like crazy night.
Pretty tight story.
Yeah.
Wait, which?
All right, so you love the Donkey Kong soundtrack, correct?
Yes.
Have you heard of Chiduli? He's a producer.
This sounds familiar.
He did a mixtape of Donkey Kong and Drake songs, like a full mixtape of all of those remakes.
Respect.
If you haven't heard it,
Alan tells
you
us
should.
that.
I love it. It's like my favorite Drake ever because it's Donkey Kong.
It is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Hillary Duff song is "Beat of My Heart."
Beat of My Heart.
Check it out.
Wait, it's on YouTube or something?
Yeah, it exists. I don't know why it's not on Spotify. I might have to take it up with those guys.
To the beat of my.
Yep, that's the
To
one.
the beat of my.
Dude, it gives me
See, there it is.
goosebumps
She says
every time I hear
dude,
it.
that is a good song actually.
Yeah.
Wait, why do I know that?
We don't need to get into that.
It's a big song.
I must have had it on. It was
Yeah.
the first CD I ever got.
Man Brothers
Metamorphosis.
wrote that.
It's a big
Yeah.
one. You should remix that. Can you flip it?
I can't. It's too perfect.
That's true. That's good. I like that. Wait, so one time you urged everyone to bring a dog to a venue that you were playing at?
Well, I did a Dogs Get In for Free tour.
A dogs get in for free tour?
Yeah.
The whole thing was?
And only one show a person brought a dog.
Were the venues not allowing them?
I mean, I don't think anyone tried, and like that's good because honestly, that's very like irresponsible to bring a dog to a club. But
I feel like I did shitty if I didn't do my research because you did a whole tour about it. I'm sorry, that sucks. That's embarrassing. Anyways, that sounds a lot like you're inciting a riot. You know that Travis Scott was once arrested for inciting a riot? It seems like a similar kind of thing that you should probably be cautious about.
That's fair. I mean,
Similar
it's
thing.
one and the same.
It wasn't much of a question. It was more just wag my finger at you.
Sorry, everybody.
Wag my finger at you.
All right. Last question?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Last question. So the most important question that we ask all guests that we're trying to find the answer to is Avril Lavigne dead or alive?
Ooh.
Are you familiar with the...
I mean, in what way? What?
Oh! That's a good question. That's the right answer. Are you familiar with the conspiracy theory that she's dead?
Yes, actually.
You
I forgot about this.
Okay, good. I love how you didn't think about this, but you still asked in what way. So the conspiracy theory, as you may know, but to refresh your mind, in 2003, Avril Lavigne was said to have committed suicide after her grandfather passed away, who she was very close with. Before this happened, this has been confirmed that her record label found a doppelganger that looked just like her. So during press events, publicity, she didn't want to deal with the paparazzi. They'd send this fake Avril out as the real Avril came through the back. The next record to come out is called Under My Skin. There's many photos of her freckles being in different places, her eyes being tilted in different places, her handwriting is different. The music's completely different, obviously, from complicated to boyfriend or whatever that sounds, girlfriend.
Yes.
So what do you think?
As a fellow Canadian, what can you say?
This is close to the heart for you.
I think she's still alive.
Okay.
I think she went through some shit that we don't even understand.
That's true.
And we couldn't possibly.
And we probably shouldn't joke about it.
She was married to fucking Chad Kroger.
She was.
Chad Kroger.
No, she still is.
Or is she still?
She was married to the dude from Brand New, right? Is that what it is?
We always do
Brand
this. We
new.
pretend like we're going to do the research after the fact.
Yeah, who was it?
But then we never actually do
All right,
the
keep
research.
talking. I'm going to look it up.
Dude,
Don't-
that's some shit, you know? She's been,
Yeah.
maybe still is going through some shit if she's still married.
That's true.
I thought they broke up, but I may be wrong.
Oh, wow, they did break up 3 years ago.
Yeah.
2015. Chad Kroger, 2013 to 2015. Derek Whibley.
She's, oh, yeah, from Sum 41.
Some 41.
Some 41,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
They're doing a reunion tour.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Have you have you remixed a Sum 41 song?
I have, and I
gonna
played
say.
it for him at a show.
Really?
Oh my
What do you think?
Okay, so I played like it was like a, how do you want to say, like a, you know these lame shows where you're just like paid by a company?
Oh, like a Red Bull
like
show.
a
Oh,
corporate
yeah,
party,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Oh,
corporate party.
So, yeah, you know, like, whatever.
So like we have a new company
Yeah.
if you want to come
I was gonna
play
say,
for
we were
us.
gonna
Yeah,
offer you
something
one.
like that. I think it was. I can't even remember. I think I am also erasing that from my memory. But
That's
Derek showed up.
Okay.
Like I DJ'd and I played that song. I remixed In Too Deep years ago or whatever.
Right.
And I don't think I knew he was there at the time, but I like came out after, and he's like, he was signed by the guy who like runs the label that I'm on now, E1.
Okay.
So I talked to him after, and he's like, "Hey, Derek showed up. He thought that was really awesome that you played that song." I was like, "Did he actually say that? Are you saying that?" And like, did he leave because I played it because he's not here now?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean
That's pretty cool.
yeah. Hopefully, and actually, Cone, that's his name, the bass player from the band. He followed
Sum
me.
41?
Yeah, he followed me on Twitter. You know, I got all these cool accomplishments.
Yeah,
I can
man.
tell you
look at
guys.
Wait, have you played your Blink 182 remix in front of any members of Blink?
Man, no. I think
Would
that's.
that be a huge moment?
I wouldn't do that. I would be too embarrassed. Like if I ever met Tom, I don't know what I would do. 'Cause
Really?
That's probably like. I mean,
You
that's
go to
like
LA a
top
lot. I bet
3
he's top.
for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Not Travis? Oh.
Travis, I feel like I would just be like, "Bro, what's up?" Like, and he would just be super
You'd
chill.
probably say, "Bro, what's up?" Too.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You would.
Yeah, I mean, and like Mark, I feel like is just actually probably pretty approachable now. Like he seems like he's down with
Yeah.
the younger
Yeah.
generation.
He's the one that DJs emo night. There's one of them that frequently
I can see
or,
that,
or
totally.
does occasionally. And I was
But
like,
Tom is, you know, he's on another
Yeah.
spectrum of like, he's a fucking alien
Yeah.
scientist.
all right, last question. Last question, I promise. One song with Kanye, full album with Tom. You get one opportunity. Which would you pick?
Tom.
Over one song with Kanye?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Have you ever been
Like-
close to working with Kanye? Is that why this isn't that big of a question?
He's probably like, oh, I have 3.
Chad made it on something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
gotcha.
Ghost produced a hi-hat on one of those songs. But no,
Did you do that one that he just dropped? What's the
Kanye.
Yeah.
No,
the Poop Diddy Scoop one is the
I wrote
best.
the poop deep
Poop-
scoopy
yeah.
part. Yeah.
Post ready
The
credits.
beat is cool though.
Yeah,
that beat
it's-
is unreal. It's too bad he just destroyed that song.
Yeah, dude, like something with Tom, that'd be
That'd
come
be pretty
on.
sweet.
Dude, I was like, we were driving around listening to what were we listening to? The new Ray Shremmerd.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Shrem Live 3.
Ray Shremmerd. And like halfway through the song, I was just I had to like scream like, Tom, like, do you know what is going on right now? Like, this entire generation is indebted to his melodies, and like no one even realizes. I think
You do though.
honestly, like, yeah, I need to like. This is my new
Spread the word.
Yeah, this is my agenda now, because it's kind of crazy, and I feel like people think like all of these kids are like making these songs, but it's literally just like Blink-182 melodies,
Over and over.
which is like respect. Like
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
That's no slight to them. I'm just doing the same with like my music in some way. I like sample Travis's drums and shit in the same way. But
Do you sample him a lot, actually?
yes, but I won't specify what songs. But like that, you know, I think pop punk is like so important to this generation. Which like I used to get like so shit on for playing that music at shows. Like
Look at you
even
now.
like 5 years ago.
Oh man.
I'm just
I feel like I
saying.
hear Panic at the Disco in a lot of DJ sets now, which is in a different vein.
Yeah, but dude, I'm just saying. Day one.
Day one
Sitting right here in front of you.
All right. I think that's the perfect place to end interviews.
It's exactly how I thought that this whole thing was going to go down. So that's perfect. Thank you so much for sitting down with us, Ryan.
Of
We really
course. Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you
And,
so much.
good luck on tour. Good luck with the rest of the year.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And
That was
Ryan
Hemsworth.
Worth.
Woo! Woo, 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 woo. Big thanks to Ryan again for sitting down
Yes.
in our really sweaty, hot office. On
Yeah, it was
Friday
a
night.
hot day. I
Yeah, it
forgot
was a hot
about
day.
that,
It was a hot day. You know, but again, we have to we work through all climates.
Yeah.
Pod life doesn't stop, baby.
Except when I go on vacation really
It's
quick.
true when Alan decides to flee the country.
Next
Anyways,
week.
next week we are back with an interview with not one but two very special friends. Get ready for the best friends puns that we're going to be making
Yes.
because their huge song "Best Friends" can be heard on the iPhone commercial
Everywhere.
everywhere.
You've heard it.
Yes,
It's on a commercial
You've heard a
somewhere.
few of their songs.
Yes, absolutely. We're talking about Sophie and Tucker, a.k.a. Sophie Tucker.
Boom. Bingo. Simple as that. Huge interview for us.
Yes.
Again, just one of those times where it was like the third time we recorded that day, and I was like, I don't get how we're in this situation,
Yeah, I don't either.
but it's awesome. Mm-hmm. It's awesome, and it was a great interview. And you know, there are people that do a lot of press because they're famous and
Very successful
very
artists.
successful artists
Yes.
that do the press run and kind of never sleep. But our interview with them, I feel like we did a good job, and they reiterated after the fact
Yes.
that it didn't feel like press.
They were very nice, and they,
Very sweet.
I think the biggest compliment they could give us was didn't feel like press.
That's
So,
all. That's it.
Yeah,
They could have said they could have said nothing else. That's all they needed to say to me.
exactly.
So
it
we'll
was
be
a fun
back.
one. Some good stories from them as well.
Right.
Check it out next week
Yeah, we'll be back next week again. Like, subscribe, download, tell all your friends about all my friends.
because we're now all best friends.
Yee. Love y'all.
Love you.